Journaling can support your healing. In this video, I'll talk about why that's the case, and I'll share 9 strategies to help you get started. I'm Simon Pimenta. I had CFS fibromyalgia for 8-9 years. At one point I was bedbound, and I went from not being able to walk for 1 minute to being able to play sport for hours, working full-time and getting my life back. I now work helping others, sharing the strategies that helped me. So I've got lots of free content on my channel. So if you like this video, do subscribe. So someone in my Facebook group asked this question: any advice on how to start journaling emotions? So why should we journal? It's actually a great way of expressing your thoughts, feelings and experience. There's something very powerful and therapeutic about getting stuff out of your head. So it can be a valuable tool for self-reflection and personal growth. There is research that shows that journaling can help us process our emotions and experience. When we process our emotions and let them go, this helps regulate the nervous system, and this supports healing. So let's talk about how to get started. Step 1, choose your format. How are you going to journal? Are you going to use a physical notebook? This is mine. Or are you going to use a digital note-taking app or a journal app? Personally, I find it really therapeutic to use pen and paper. Secondly, decide on the purpose. What is your reason for wanting to journal? Is it something you want to do regularly, or is it something you want to do responsively, or a bit of both? For example, I've often journaled when I've felt triggered by something. Okay, so now the person who asked the question was looking to express emotions, so we'll talk about how to do that. But other people might want to do it to track your daily life, to set and review goals, or explore your creative side. So get clear on your purpose. This will help you structure your journaling sessions. So step 3 is, when are you going to do it? If it is something you want to do regularly, consider when would be a good time to do it. If you want to do it daily, is it something you want to do at the end of the day or at the beginning of the day? I like doing it at the beginning of the day, and I do review the day that's just gone, and that suits me best. But find out what works for you. It might be something you want to do once a week, in which case think about when you do it. So it's part of my morning routine is to challenge myself to write 1 sentence. This morning, got stuck in the weeds. What that means is I got a bit distracted. Rather than focusing on the thing I really need to do first, I ended up replying to emails, commenting on posts in my Facebook group, etc. Okay, obviously if I keep doing that, then I need to really think about how I'm going to restructure my day. So select a quiet and comfortable place where you can focus on your thoughts, feelings without distractions. Some general points for writing. Point 4, find your style. There's no right or wrong way of journaling. It's your personal experience, so it's up to you to decide how you approach it. You might do gratitude journaling. There's research that shows spending a bit of time expressing gratitude is good for our health and well-being. It's actually good for our immune function. You might do reflective journaling, bullet journaling, stream of consciousness writing. So find what works best for you. Experiment. You might use drawings, photographs, quotes, or any other elements that enhance your journaling experience. Write whatever comes to your mind. You can write about your day, your feelings, your dreams, your goals, whatever comes to your mind. Don't worry about getting it right, grammar, spelling, etc. Obviously, it's useful if you can read what you've written. Sometimes my writing is shocking, so that's something to consider. The key point is to get your thoughts, feelings out of your head, okay? Point 5 is to practice self-compassion. It's really important that you're kind to yourself. Journaling is a tool for self-discovery and growth, not an opportunity for self-criticism. So treat yourself with compassion and understanding, as you would a friend. So tip 6, be honest and open. It's your private space. So, sometimes people fear that someone else might read their journal. I'm not worried about that. If someone reads my journal, shame on them. Okay, so don't censor your thoughts or worry about judgment. Okay, point 7, be intentional. What do I mean by that? Well, people often talk about what happened, what they think about what happened, and they tend to overlook what they feel about what happened. So let's just review those 3 steps. First of all, when we talk about what happened, people often are subjective rather than objective. It's useful to be objective because we're taking the emotion out of the experience, and learning to write objectively is a useful transferable skill. For example, in conflict situations, it can help avoid escalation. So for example, if I'm journaling and I write, I was late, then that's a judgment. I could instead be more factual. I arrived 45 minutes after the time we agreed to meet. And for instance, if you're in a situation where, let's say you decided to meet someone and they're late, if you say to them, you're late, they're going to be on the defensive. If you say, look, we agreed to meet at a certain time, you've arrived 45 minutes after, can you just explain how come you've arrived 45 minutes later? Then that's a less kind of provocative statement, okay? Another example of that is I actually wrote down, I finally realised, and what I realised, there was a judgment in that statement. I could have just written, I realised, okay? By saying to myself, I finally realised, it's like, duh, God, how come it took you so long? There's some judgment there, okay? So we want to be as objective as possible. As I say, the second thing people do is they talk about what they think about what happened. So that's about their opinion, their evaluation, their perception. And as I say, the third thing is we tend to overlook what we feel about what happened. So journaling is an opportunity to tune in to our feelings. How do we do that? Well, that's point 8. You can use prompts. If the goal of journaling is to assist in healing, then you can ask these questions. For example, if I choose to do daily journaling, how do I feel about the day? So how do I feel about yesterday? What went well? Okay, so that's a thought. How do I feel about that? Okay, now we're getting into the feelings. What didn't go well? Again, I might talk about the thoughts. How do I feel about that? Okay, now we're getting into the feelings. Another question I can ask is, what patterns can I see here? So as I say, if I keep getting distracted at the beginning of the day rather than focusing on the core task that I've set myself, then I need to come up with some strategies to break that pattern. So the next question is, what can I learn from this? How might I respond differently in this kind of situation? So I might just need to make a better plan. I might need to schedule posts on my Facebook group the day before. So the first thing, if I decide, right, I'm going to record a video, which was my goal for today, then I focus on that. So how might I respond differently in this kind of situation? What would I do, say, feel? So if I want to embed that new response, I might add that to my daily visualization practice. If you'd like me to talk about my daily visualization practice, comment visualization below and I'll make a video on it. Point 9 is to reflect and review. Periodically, it's useful to just review your past entries because that can help you identify patterns, track your progress towards your goals. A while back, looked at something I'd written in my journal about what time I wanted to stop eating. At one point, I was finishing eating my meals in the evening at 9 o'clock. And I'd written down my goal was to finish eating by 8 o'clock. I'm now aiming for 7 p.m. The reason I'm doing that is because the bigger the gap between our last bite of food and when we go to bed, the better the quality of our sleep. Our resting heart rate is lower, which means the body can do more repair work. So reflect and review. This can help you identify patterns, track your progress towards your goals, and gain insights into your emotions and thoughts. So in closing, decide what your purpose is. If it is something you want to do regularly, consider how you can make journaling a habit. For example, I've decided that I'm setting myself the goal of just writing one sentence every day. You could just do it for 1 minute And you could say, right, I'm going to do that for 7 days or 30 days. But consistency will help you reap the benefits of journaling. So what is your key takeaway? I'd love to know, so do leave a comment. So if you are watching this channel, then do subscribe and check out the playlist where I've got playlists for a number of topics. If you'd like more tips and free resources and to be part of a supportive community, then click the link below to join my Facebook group. If you do want to go faster, I do coach people, and I have a course called Building Resilience where I take people through the 9 areas that I think are important to focus on to help you move towards your health goals. I'm really happy to have a half-hour free session with you where we'll identify some areas for you to work on. If you want to explore working together, we can do that as well. But if you just want the free session, that's completely fine. So remember that each moment is an opportunity to turn things around. So keep going, wishing you great health. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.